Hi everyone, it's Lorna from Just Jemima, and today we are going to be making some Danish stars. These are 3D origami style stars that you can turn into hanging stars to hang on the fireplace or in the window, or you can actually be quite clever with them and do them in different sizes and turn them into like a stacked Christmas tree, where you start off with like a 12-inch piece of card and cut out, make your star, and then we may have a 12-inch, a 10, an 8, a 6, a 4, a 2, and you just gradually make them smaller until you can stack them into just a lovely tree shape. So I am going to teach you how to make a very simple star. So all you need to make one star, or a hanging star, is you need 2 square pieces of card. You can use card, you can use paper, you can use vellum, you can use see-through cellophane, as long as you've got a bit of give to it and it's enough to give it a bit of a 3D structure. If you use vellum or something like tracing paper, you can add a little tea light and you can actually see through it and it lights up quite nicely. But for today, we're just going to use some thick card. So we have 12 by 12 card. You can pick this up in the Works or the Range. So 12 by 12, just the pack. You can pick this up at very little cost. And scissors and sellotape and some string. That's all you really need to make these stars. So I believe in using things that don't cost very much, that are really simple and easy to do, so you don't have to go to the craft store and get loads of really expensive materials. So what we need to do is to take a piece of card and fold it 3 times diagonally. So we will take this and fold it into like a sandwich shape. So fold it once, fold it twice, making sure that you get the ends lined up nicely. Now, the more you fold, the harder it's going to be to fold again. So I take the back of a knife, just the blunt edge, and just run it along, and it just means you have a nice, crisp, defined edge, a bit like these corners. So that's 2 folds. And we will just go for the 3rd fold here. Again, the 3rd fold is quite hard to do. So again, we just get the blunt edge of the knife, or a bank card or a credit card, anything that's going to give you that nice edge. And just be careful not to scrape the pattern off like I've just done. Okay, so that is your 3 folds. Remember to fold them diagonally, open it up, and then what I need you to do is take your scissors and along the straight edge, you cut in maybe about 1/2 to 2/3. Don't worry about measuring, just 1/2 to 2/3 is fine. And just keep rotating it until you've got all 4 straight sides cut. Okay, so that's up to about there. Okay, so it will look something like this. Okay, now I have one that I've already cut, so I'm going to use it. So we'll pop that one aside, and as you can see, I've already cut it. So put your pattern side down and take one of the corners, and you will see your lovely diagonal line that goes out to a point. Take this and just fold it into your line. Okay. If you want a nice straight edge, use the head of the scissors, or you can use the blunt edge of the knife. So just bring that right into the centre, so you have a nice sharp point. Again, I just use that. Okay. So as you can see, they're meeting in the middle and you have a lovely sharp point. So again, we will do that for the other 3. So just bring it right into your line. And don't forget to just squish along the line. It's really important because it just means you get the sharp edges. And when you're if you want to do a tree, when you're stacking it up, it just makes it nice and crisp and clean lines. Okay, so just onto the third one. Just trying to get faster at doing this. And again, just run along the edge, just so that it's nice and crisp. And finally, now to do a star, you will need 2 pieces of card. It doesn't really matter whether it's 12-inch square, 10-inch square, as long as it's a square piece of card. However, the larger the piece of card, the easier it's going to be to fold. If you have a small square like this little one, it's going to be quite tricky to fold it, the thicker the card. So if it's a small one you're doing, use paper or something quite thin, and then it's easier to work with. But this size, 12 by 12, is fine. Okay, so we have it folded. You can see the other side there. And what I might do is I'm just going to take it and fold it in half so we get nice clean lines along the top point of the star. I suppose that's the peak of the star. So I'm just going to, it's all about the lines. Keep them nice and clean and sharp. Okay, so that should work. Right. What we need to do now is take your point and take a little bit of sellotape. Here's some I've cut earlier. So do not sellotape along the middle. What we want to do is to take it like this, fold it across. So take it, fold it across so it forms a point like this, and then take a little bit of tape. You can use glue, and then it means you don't see the sellotape, but I just think for the purposes of this video, and to make sure that it doesn't fall apart, I'm using sellotape. So that's a really nice sharp point now. So again, it doesn't matter whether you go that way or go that way, as long as you're bringing these together into a point. And again, run the tape along the edge. Sometimes I use snail glue, which is like this, and I would run that along there and just stick it down. But just because I want this to work today, I'm just going to use the sellotape. It's just simple things you have at home, because not everyone would have these. A glue gun is another thing you can use. But sellotape is just as quick as anything. Okay, so that's 3 done, and finally, just go for the 4th one. Just fold it over and just flip it on. I sometimes hold it right in underneath, and then you're getting the lines lined up, and just squish it along there. So now you have a lovely star where you have the 4 ends together, and it's like this. So, and as you can see, we've been really good with our lines, and they're really crisp, and we've got a really good corner or peak at the top. So that's one, and here is one I've done earlier. So what we need to do now is to take these 2 and flip them over and pop them together. So the plan is to stick this one onto that, and then we have a lovely 3D star that we can hang. Okay, so what you may need to do here is to just squish it flat a little bit and try and find the points where it's touching. So if you just get along here, that is where you need to put some glue. So you can use the snail glue, or what I'm going to do is to use some double-sided foam. So I'm just going to take some of it and just along here. So just put in the sticky pads along there, okay? So there's 2. Double-sided tape is quite good because you can just rip it apart and not need to worry about scissors. So we'll just peel the top layer of that. So that's half of it done. Again, we'll just take another little bit of this. Pop it there. If you find that when you stick it together you can actually see some of the sticky pads, that's okay, you can just trim them down. I'm sticking to it myself. And finally there's 2 more. And what I'm going to do with this one is I've cut some nice thread, so I'm actually going to pop this on here. It's quite light, so that should be enough just to hold the string. So squish that there. Okay. So we have 8 little pressure points. So let's hope this works. So what we want to do is make sure that we've got our string popped out, and we want to get all these lined up. So sometimes it's easier just to stand up to do this so that they're all in the right position. And you may need to just squish it down a wee bit to make sure that all the little pressure points and little bits of sticky pads are touching the other side of the star. Okay, so I can see little bits there, so I can always peel that off afterwards. So we now have 1 star. Let's hope this is going to work. Now we're just with squishing it, it's gone a wee bit flat, so again just take the top of it and just redefine those lines. Okay, so there we have our hanging star, and what you can do is, I've bought these online, so you can take a little light. These are lovely because they're smaller than tea lights, and you just pop these on, and you can actually take one of these and just pop it inside it. Because it's quite thick card, it's not going to be very luminescent, but if you use paper like tracing paper or vellum, you'll be able to see through it. So I'll try and pop that inside. Just switch it on. I'm just going to tap that there. And here we are. So we have our star. So that is ready to go in the fireplace, or you can hang it in the window. So I may hang it on the window along with the other star. And again, you can make them in different sizes and just put them over the window or fireplace, and done just using card and tape and a little bit of string. So I hope you enjoy making your Christmas stars. You can just make them as stars, or as I've said earlier, you can actually layer them up and just turn them into like a stacked Christmas tree. You can keep them as they are. I prefer to keep them very simple. Or you can actually add decorations to the ends. For example, if I look at my box of tricks, could add like little bells to them, but just make sure that the weight's evenly distributed. Let me see. Yeah. There's some tiny ones, so just ideas of what you can do. You can even take a star and pop it up this way and have a back to it, so you can stack them up flat and then have a star like this. So thank you for watching. It's just a very simple Christmas star craft tutorial, and enjoy making your stars. Happy Christmas!